The Oversight Committee's mission statement is that we exist to secure two fundamental principles. First, Americans have a right to know that the money Washington takes from them is well spent. And second, Americans deserve an efficient, effective government that works for them. Our duty on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee is to protect these rights. Our solemn responsibility is to hold government accountable to taxpayers because taxpayers have a right to know what they get from their government. It is our job to work tirelessly in partnership with citizen watchdogs to deliver the facts to the American people and bring genuine reform to the Federal bureaucracy. This is our mission statement. And I might add, when I say citizens watchdogs, that does include the Inspector Generals. We are here today to get answers to questions that should have been asked and answered long time ago. The details that have come to light about the GSA conference held in Las Vegas have raised serious questions in the minds of the American people about how government is using their tax dollars. There are those who believe government and its reach should be expanded. They believe that government should be bigger, have more resources, and play a larger role in the everyday lives of the American people. What has come to light surrounding GSA's activities does give us pause for thought, and to anyone who opposes cutting government size and spending, that in fact there is much to be cut in government spending. There are five key questions that still stand out, and hopefully by the end of this hearing, some will be answered. First and foremost, why did it take 11 months for this investigation under the Obama administration to come to light in a way in which meaningful action could begin? The Inspector General briefed the Administrator about details about details in an interim report and gave details of those responsible for gross waste. Yet indications are that some political appointees believe even this year that this report should be kept private. We on the committee find that outrageous. Although it is the custom of many Inspector Generals to inform this committee during early interim reporting and prior to a final report, that alone is not unusual. However, the fact that 11 months transpired gives us a particular reason to say how long after an interim report is delivered and no action is taken before Congress is to be informed. There are still outstanding questions regarding the resignation of Martha Johnson as GSA Administrator. First of all, who asked her to resign? What specific reason was she asked to be resigned for? Was it because she was responsible for the events that unfolded at the convention, or because she mishandled the public relations of the fallout that came 11 months later? Well, Martha Johnson has been removed as Chief of Staff. Michael Robertson, who is also here today, has remained in place. Mr. Robertson previously served President Obama as legislative counsel in the Senate and served as a personal advisor to the President. It begs the question, are we really to believe that the Chief of Staff to the GSA Administrator and the right-hand man didn't know anything about this for all this time? And if he didn't, shouldn't he have? Did he communicate the seriousness of this situation to the White House, and if so, when? Why was Jeff Neely, a Regional Public Building Service Commissioner who was the chief organizer of the 2010 Las Vegas conference, given a bonus approved by the agency's most senior officials, even though they knew and were discussing sensational details of what had happened at the conference? Question here from the dais has to be, all the good works, all the assertions of a good job, if you have this kind of abuse, can they balance out to be a positive bonus totaling over $9,000? And finally, well, we are determined to uncover the full truth about what went wrong and why it is equally important to look to the future. I want to thank the GSA's new Acting Administrator, Dan Tangrini, I'm going to get it right much sooner, for being here today and testifying. He called me shortly after taking the job, assured me, as one would expect, that he didn't know everything, knew there was a problem, and would work diligently to fix it. That's all we can ask from the dais, is that mistakes, when made, are remedied, corrective action is taken, and that it be done in a professional way with an understanding that the bureaucracy is, in fact, neither Republican nor Democratic, that every administration faces these problems, and that solutions will not come by us pointing fingers to this administration, the last administration, or the next administration. Wasteful spending is a problem that transcends multiple administrations, but it is incumbent on the present administration to change the culture as best they can on their watch and leave to the next administration a better one than they inherited. With that, I recognize the distinguished ranking member, Mr. Cummings, for his opening statement.